We are here to talk about sources, methods, and principles that are applied in the study of liturgy. And to begin that study, what we should do is talk about the sources first. And as we talk about the sources, we will deal with issues of method and issues of applying principles to those methods. Let's begin by addressing a comment from Father Cyril. It's spelled C-Y-R-I-L-L-E, Vogel. A prominent specialist in liturgy who was active at the Second Vatican Council. I'm writing out Father's name here because there is another important Cyril Vogel, spelled a little bit differently, who was also active at the Second Vatican Council as a bishop participant. But the one we're talking about here is Father Cyril, spelled this way, Vogel, who made the declaration that, quote, "the Bible is the primary liturgical book." And to that end, we're going to be discussing the scriptures and their relationship to liturgy as a source. Father Vogel's statement is correct at two levels. One is that the writings that we consider part of the biblical canon have been recognized as books of the Old and New Testament. These document the origin and the structure of liturgical worship in both the Sinai covenant and the Christian covenant. So that's one respect in which Father Cyril Vogel's "the Bible is the primary liturgical book" is a correct statement. But the other sense in which he is correct with that statement is that the writings that constitute the sacred scriptures, that constitute the Old and New Testaments, that constitute the Bible, have provided, since the time of their composition and continuing into the present day, the content and the power of individual liturgical rites. So, for example, sacrifices in Old Testament Judaism were carried out by following rules provided in the Hebrew scriptures themselves. In Christianity, a Catholic or Orthodox priest, properly ordained and properly authorized, changes bread and wine into the body and blood of Christ when he recites biblically recorded words of Jesus. So the Bible is primary not only in time, but the Bible is primary in the sense that it provides the texts, it provides the content of what constitutes liturgy. In order to talk about the Bible, we should go back to the very beginning and address the earliest written elements that constitute the scriptures. And for this, we're going to take a look at my table number 3. Sources of texts foundational to both Judaism and Christianity. The earliest components, written components of the scriptures, were put into writing during the time of the Exodus, the escape of the Israelites from Egypt. The Exodus began about the year 1446 BC, or BCE. 1,446 years before Christ, or you can also say it 1,446 years before the Christian era, or the Common Era. If you look at your study Bibles, you will probably be given a later date of around 1320 or 1300 BC, BCE. That is the older scholarship. The older scholarship dated the Exodus to about 1300 based on certain principles of analysis. Newer research, particularly with regard to Egyptian history, indicates that